afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. I'm Joan Firkins, the moderator for this session, which is called Will You Be Club President in 2021? So once again, thank you for attending today. And now I'd like to introduce District Governor Nominee Lorna Curtis, who will be your leader for this session.
Welcome everybody to the session. Get a jump start on your year. Like Joan said, if you will be an assistant governor or a club president in 2021-22, this is your session. Otherwise, you might be a bit bored. Although, if you are considering becoming a president, a club president, stay tuned and stay in the session. The district and district governor are here to support the clubs. We only exist to help you. You are our customer. However, like any customer, we need you to let us know what you need, how we can help you. If you have a problem, we may not be able to fix it, but we're a good sounding board. We know where the resources are available, and we can point you in the right direction to get the information you need. As a club president, you are not expected to know everything, but certainly helps if you know where to find the information. What will we cover today? We're going to talk about some action items that need to be done by you. We're going to talk about the district governor visits, pet states, setting goals, and some session takeaways. Please feel free to ask questions anytime, either in the chat box or by raising your hand, and Joan will be monitoring these areas. How can I help you? As we go through the session today, I would like you to think, how can I help you prepare to be the president of your Rotary Club? What sort of information would you like? Feel free to email your assistant governors or myself anytime if you have a question, concern, or you are looking for some information. We are here to support you. How many of you have been into the Rotary International website? So I encourage all of you to go into the Rotary International website. That is where you can sign up for My Rotary. It is most important as a club president that you have a register and have a My Rotary account. You will need to do this in order to access all the information on the RI website. Whether you want to go to the Brand Center, Rotary Club Central, any of the information that you want for your club, you need to have a My Rotary account. And don't worry about Rotary Club Central at this point. We will be talking about that later on at Pre-Pets and Pets. All clubs who participate in any youth program must be Youth Protection certified. Youth Exchange, RILA, Interact, breakfast, lunch programs in schools, reading programs, Early Act. I would suggest you complete this as soon as possible, and that'll be another check item off of your to-do list. We've set 4 dates for pre-pets, 2 in the US and 2 in Canada. At the moment, these are in person, but that could change given the current circumstances. Think about the date you would like to work and book to attend, and book it in your calendar now. So if they change, if we end up going to a virtual session, we'll try to keep the same dates. Early September, I'll be sending out how to register for these sessions, so please stay tuned. And why do we have pre-pet sessions? These are important for both assistant governors and president-elects. We will talk about the role of the club president, role of assistant governor, what is to be expected at pets. We will set goals in the Rotary Club Central. That is why it is important to ensure you have a My Rotary account. We'll talk about crisis management plans, and we will also talk about the district governor visit and about any questions or challenges you may have as an incoming president. This also gives you an opportunity to network with other presidents-elects to see what they are doing, exchange ideas, perhaps work together on a project or fundraiser. So I ask you complete these 3 items before October 31st, please. District Governor visits. This is the list of options for District Governor visits. And it sure shows how Rotary has changed over the years. It was only a few years ago the District Governor visit was only an official visit to each club. And the District Governor would meet with the club board either before or after the visit. Very traditional. Now we're even including the option of official visits via Zoom. Please think about how you would like the District Governor club visit to be in your president year. You will be asked at PETS to choose one of the above options for the District Governor visit. President-elect training seminar. Speaking of PETS, put this date in your calendar now. 9 districts participate in Pacific Northwest PETS, and it may be 10 next year. There is a committee of district governor-elects and past district governors that organize this event. People come from this event having a vision for their year, and they are much more confident about their role as president. This is a great opportunity for networking and getting ideas from other club leaders. It is also a great opportunity for you to spend time with your assistant governor and president-elects from your area. This is a mandatory attendance at this event. If you cannot attend those dates, you must find and attend PETS elsewhere, and you can go to petsalliance.org to find other PETS in North America. That email address is in your package. However, I would strongly advise that you pull out all the stops to try and attend the Pacific Northwest PETS, as it's considered one of the best training grounds. There will be sessions that are specific to District 5020. You will be with president peers, and you will hear about the district governor's plans for the following year. So if you can put that date in your calendar now, that would be fabulous. Sessions start on the Friday at 8:30 a.m. and end Sunday noon. So work your travel arrangements if this ends up being an in-person event around this time. At this point in time, they are still planning an in-person event in Seattle, but the planning committee has been asked to have a plan B just in case there's travel and large group restrictions. The more you prepare in advance, the less time you will spend putting out fires. I encourage you and your board to work together to prepare in advance and set up open lines of communication. You will not regret the time and effort you put into organizing an event. I do not think you often hear people say, "Oh, I wish I had not spent so much time preparing." I think it's more likely you will hear people say, "I wish I had spent more time preparing." So I'm going to ask the group if a few of you would mind raising your hand, and Joan will let you know to unmute yourself. If you could maybe just tell us what you think will be your biggest challenge as a club president.
Andrew is on.
For me, I think it would probably be just the ongoing challenges around membership, bringing more members into the club.
Teresa?
The same here. That was what I was going to say. It's retention is fine. It's just we have an older group, and it's, naturally becomes harder and harder to bring more younger people in to sustain membership.
Pam?
I would think for our group, it's an elderly group that's been existing for a long time, and I would like to bring in some new ideas, and I don't know how they will be perceived or welcomed.
I'm not sure. Craig?
It's Pam Craig. Thank you.
Oh, Pam Craig, sorry.
It's 2 Pams. Hi, Pam.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with the speakers prior to myself, but also I think we have to challenge our members to be flexible and to accept different ways of doing things, and especially along the fundraising issues and keeping our obligations going to our communities.
Tanya?
I think one of our biggest challenges I think we're going to have is attendance. In person, we have a good size club, but we have low attendance. Now going virtually, our numbers have even plummeted for attendance right now.
Anne Flack?
I'll agree with every one of the speakers. We have an older population within our club, and change is not popular, if I can say it that way. But we have had a pretty good success during the virus doing our meetings via Zoom. The changes is 1 week we'll do it at the normal time, 7 a.m. in the morning. And then the alternate week we do an evening meeting. And it's the evening meeting that the morning people don't want to attend. Interesting.
Jim Rooks.
Yes, we have in our club, we're somewhat diverse. There's old guys like me, and some of our newest and best women or members are young professional women. And what I feel is a challenge is I want to see more of that and how to integrate their families, their children into our meetings and into our fellowship programs.
Garth?
My point was more on fundraising, because fundraising this year is going to be pretty sketchy, and we're going to have to look at new, so we're not going to raise much funds this year with the kind of projects that we normally have. So next year, my year is going to be even more difficult. Hopefully all the fundraising options will be back, but that's going to be our biggest challenge, I think.
Dave Lovely?
Yeah, I'm worried about membership. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge. The club was much bigger 10 years ago and continues to dwindle in size, and would really like to know how to, hear other people's ideas for, raising membership.
David Spavin?
Okay, fundraising will be my biggest challenge, primarily because of the fact that we've had some tremendously successful fundraisers over the last few years, and they're starting to wear thin with the membership. So to be creative, create new ones, I basically have to start now in preparation for my year. So that's the biggest challenge I'm facing. Membership remains pretty static. We seem to replace the outgoing ones, but that will still be a challenge, but primarily it'll be the fundraising.
Scott?
Yeah, for us also fundraising, we had two big events during the year, jamming in the park up here in Port Angeles with Northwestern Rotary, and like a lot of other Rotary groups, we had an auction. But with the pandemic, obviously both these fundraising events are impaired. So as a club, we're not going to be a year and a half from now, and hopefully we'll have a vaccine. But if we don't, we're going to have to come up with different ways of raising funds for scholarships. And of course, I'd like to see our club membership increase significantly as well. But thank you.
Connor Hartman?
Hi. Yes. So I'm actually going to be a president-elect coming up here soon. But one of the things I think, and maybe this is across many nonprofits, but just not getting everybody on board and active at the same time. A lot of times there's a few people making a lot of waves and a few people left to the sidelines. So trying to integrate more people into our group and get them active in the club.
Valerie?
Sorry, I just unmuted myself. I have a lot of the same concerns that have already been voiced. We're all concerned in our club about membership. We are concerned about fundraising, and we are concerned about rebranding our club as well.
Susie Sanders?
My biggest concern is we have a fairly regular group of people that attend the meetings. We have good turnout, but when we do activities, Rotary event activities, we don't have as good of a turnout, and I want to see that change. And so I'm looking for ways to, get people excited to, do our community activities or social activities that we plan.
PETA?
We have two brand new fundraisers planned for this summer. One is to take the Oak Bay Flag Program and take it to the peninsula. And we're going to add to that and have celebration flags. And I think other clubs could do this too, where somebody that's having a birthday or an anniversary can order up a set of flags. We'll probably do 3 for $50. And it could be the Canada Heart flag, rainbow flag, and a congratulations flag. I think there'll be a lot of interest in that, and looking forward to it. What I would like to see with our club, we have a really enthusiastic and mixed group of people who love our club, and we really have a lot of fun together, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of connection to the broader family of Rotary, both within our region and internationally. And so I'm going to be working on getting our club more connected with international programs, and having Zoom meetings is a great way to do that. There's a Rotary fellowship called End Plastic Soup. It's from the Amsterdam Rotary Club, and I'm going to have them speak to our club next week, because they have an initiative for June 6th to collect plastic from going into the ocean.
Okay, Mike Haas.
A lot of our members are quite old. We have a couple of people who have been working with our youth group, the Interact Club, and unfortunately, I'm going to be losing both of them this year. One is retiring. He's been a long-term Rotarian. The other one is leaving for personal reasons. And so I don't know what I'm going to do this year with not having a youth coordinator. We have an Interact Club, but how do I deal with that going forward?
Jeff Schmidt.
From our perspective, I think my biggest concern is going to be fundraising, with the added wrinkle that since we only started Crossroads less than a year ago, we still haven't had a big fundraiser yet. We've had a few little things, but our first big fundraiser was supposed to be last month, and obviously that had to be postponed. On the bright side, we continue to add new members, and our average age has actually gone down since we started the club.
Okay, last one, Walt and Bobby Elliott.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking over in July in a different world than our club's operated at. It'd be important to understand what's different as a club, what's different in how do we got relevant to our community. And I think when we emerge from this crisis, things will be different. And adapting along with that's going to be a challenge in the next 12 months.
Thank you, everybody. I was madly writing all these concerns, suggestions, challenges down, and I have an idea, and I will how maybe we can address some of these, and I'll bring it up when I get to that slide in my presentation. So stay tuned for that. As I said earlier, as club president, you are not supposed to know everything about Rotary, but you should know where to find the information. Ask your AG, ask one of the district council committee members, look on the RI website or district website, or ask me. Things to start thinking about. Over the next 6 to 8 months, I encourage you to start thinking about your year. I think I heard somebody say that already, that they need to start planning for their year for fundraisers that they would like to do if they want to change it. How would you like to see your president year unfold? You are in control to make your year a success. Come to this December, board members for your president year will be appointed. Participate in the nominations. Help build a board who can work together. Avoid seat warmers. Ensure your board knows the responsibilities and expectations of their positions. Communication is key. Ensure new board members have adequate training. Don't just rely on information being passed along, as this does not always happen. When I became an assistant governor, the person before me never passed on any information. And I think the first year I was tripping over my feet trying to figure out what to do. So it really helps if somebody chats to you and finds out, do you know what the expectations are? I suggest you chat to each board member individually, and especially if they're new. Ask if what they think the responsibilities of their role are. Make sure that you're both on the same page. Make sure your board members feel supported by you, and remember to give recognition. Everyone likes to be recognized for a job well done. Talk to the current youth protection officer. Will they continue? Do they know what their role is? Did they know that the club youth protection officer job description is on the district website under youth protection? Talk to committee chairs of projects, of fundraisers. Will they continue? Do they need additional help? Do they have any ideas they would like to bring to the table? Think about the goals for your club. Look at Rotary Club Central at past goals. This might be a guideline. Remember, to do this, you must have a My Rotary account. Visit other clubs in your area to get ideas. Talk to other presidents. Talk to your AG. Talk to past club presidents. What worked for them, what didn't? Meet with your board in advance. I suggest somewhere between January and April of 2021, you want to meet with your board. Waiting until July 2021 to plan the year is too late. Organizing weekly meetings, Rotary Club business, and board meetings will take up most of your time. So by planning with your board in advance, you can concentrate on the day-to-day club activities while your board members are working towards meeting the club goals. Talk to club members in advance. Do a survey. You can find these on the RI website. Review your club's constitution and bylaws. Work together with other clubs on projects and fundraisers, or a combined meeting. There's no I in team. You cannot do it all yourself. Remember to delegate. And most of all, have fun. Fun trickles from the top down. So if you're having fun, your club members will have fun too. Some other things you could do to prepare for a successful year is I have included the Rotary monthly themes in your package. You might want to think about how to incorporate the monthly themes into your meetings. Develop a club action plan through a club visioning session or a vibrant club exercise. Ask the district for help. The district has a team that can come out and help you to do this. In your packages, you will find effective leadership tips for club presidents. You might find these useful. Visit the Rotary Learning Center. Again, you need to sign up and have access to it through My Rotary. Look, but it's located under Learning and References. Encourage club members, especially new ones, to go to this area and to take some of the courses. They are short and they're very informative. You can start a course, you can stop and come back to it later. There's a number of excellent courses for new members and for club board members. Emails. I think we all send lots of emails. I have two pet peeves when it comes to emails. One is receiving too many that are too long-winded. And two are people not responding to emails. Sending too many emails as a president can work against you. Limit the number of emails you send to club members, and I will endeavor to limit the number of emails I send to you. Consider sending no more than one email a week to club members and make it bullet points, easy to read. If you require a response, ask people not to hit reply all. Because if you have 40 people in your club, then the people get 40 reply alls. That really fills up the inbox. Make your emails informative, something people look forward to and want to read. Oh, and remember to read them over and check the attachments before hitting the send button. You'll remember what happened to me this week when I didn't do that. Respond to emails within 48 hours. Even if it is just to say, I will get back to you at a later date. You expect your emails to be read by someone and that you expect them to respond. So make sure you are giving them the same courtesy. I promise if you send me an email, I will respond. So I'm really hoping you will do the same, and will do the same for your assistant governor and most importantly, your club members. Ensure club members and your assistant governor know how best to communicate with you. If it is not through email, then how would you like them to contact you? No one likes to feel they're being ignored. What is your job as club president? Well, I would say one of the priorities is to ensure club members get the most out of their Rotary experience. Just like all of you are the district customers, your club members are your customers. You can help them get the most out of their Rotary experience through your preparation, your organization, and your communication. I've been thinking of, and this is where I was going to chat about something, the list that we came up earlier. I was thinking about organizing a Zoom session in September. And I'm getting some past district governors and past presidents of clubs, some of the clubs, and create a panel. And perhaps the list of challenges that you came up with earlier, we could give to them and we could ask them directly and ask them for some feedback. So look forward to that. I will keep that list that everybody gave, and I will find a panel of people, past presidents and district governors, to participate in a Zoom, and let's ask them the questions. And perhaps we will come up with some of the answers. Sessions takeaways from today. What do you need to do? October 31st, register in My Rotary, complete the youth protection certification, and decide on your choice of date for your pre-PEP session and put it in your calendar. Please do not hesitate to reach out to your assistant governor or to myself. We are here to help you. For these sessions today, none of the instructors woke up this morning and decided to throw a few slides together and then let's just wing it. It took preparation and practice and to deliver each one of these with comfort and confidence. So please prepare. Things go much smoother when you prepare. So now we have a few minutes here, about 10 minutes. If you have any questions you would like to ask me, please raise your hand and Joan will let me know.
So there was a question from Megan Reese about Rotaract. Megan, would you like to state your question, please?
Yeah, no, I was just curious about, I'm going to be a Rotaract president coming up next year. And I was just wondering if you had any advice or anything that might be applicable specifically to that. Because we're dealing with a much kind of younger age group and kind of different sorts of stuff. So I just sort of wondered if you had any advice with that specifically.
Well, I have a couple of things. So first off, I would suggest that you reach out to your area, to the AG in your area, and make sure you become involved in the president's meetings that they hold. And also, Megan, this year is going to be the first year that we now have a Rotaract representative from the district, and that person sits on district council. And I can certainly get you her, if you don't have her information or contact information, I can get it to you and send it to you.
We have a question from Shirley Franklin, who had an exchange student and was certified at the time, and she's asking if that is still valid.
I wouldn't know that. I would suggest that you contact Becky Fontaine or Mike Cloutier, and either one of them would be able to help you. If you don't have their email address, just email me and I can get it to you. But they would know, they can get into the website to see what needs to be redone and what doesn't.
Thank you. All right, we have a raised hand from Susie Moskovich.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay, great. Mine is less of a question, but just a suggestion, because this will be my second time round. And one of the things I found extremely helpful, I'm really sorry, I lost you guys for a few minutes, so maybe it's been addressed, but before you start your year and well into it, get a Rotary email. Don't have everything come to your personal email. Have a Rotary dedicated email. It will make your life so much easier. That's all. That's just a suggestion. I don't know if it was mentioned or not, but I found it very, very helpful when I started.
And we have a raised hand from Scott Butler.
Yeah, first off, great presentation, very much appreciated. you mentioned, in terms of us developing our goals for the Rotary Club, that there are examples on Rotary Club Central. Can you send out the link to us and how we can download those?
Well, first, what you need to do is you need to go in. You can follow the directions I gave you to set up a My Rotary account. Once you have that, you just go in, and then there is a link there to Rotary Club Central. And then once you go in to Rotary Club Central, you'll get in there for your club, and you can search around, and you can search even previous years, but only if past presidents have put the information in. And that's what's so imperative about this, is there has been some resistance to putting the information in Rotary Club Central, but then people like yourself want to come and look at it and say, well, what did they do in other years? If the information's not there, it doesn't help you. So hopefully your past presidents have put it in, and you will be able to have a look and look around.
Okay.
We are going to, what I'm hoping to do at Pre-Pets is that we set it up that we can do put in our goals and do it all together. And I'm going to have a couple of AGs help us with that.
I think what might be helpful is if you have like 5 to 10 very good examples of plans from various Rotary clubs that you particularly liked and the reason why they're good.
I'll have a look and see what I can come up with for Pre-Pets.
And we have a raised hand from Valerie.
I would like to know, I'm going to be president in 21-22. Did I choose the right session?
You did.
Yes, you did.
This is the correct session.
Okay, good. I just wondered because everybody's been talking about pets, and I wondered if that was...
Well, pets will happen next February. Pre-Pets is going to happen in November. So you need to start, you're going to start thinking about that now. The people that are going to be president as of July have already had their pets and their Pre-Pets.
A raised hand from Mike Huss.
Yeah, I had raised my hand just to make sure that I got the notes that you were going to send out. But I just wanted to talk a bit about my situation. I've got, we didn't have a president-elect at the time of our AGM back in December. And it appeared as though we weren't going to have a club going forward. And I was president of our club in 15-16. And I got coerced into taking on the presidency for this coming year. So I'm actually in this class, which is for the following year. But I think the same applies for the year that I'm going to be president. Am I correct?
Yes, pretty much.
Information, yes.
Well, this is Jan Teague. I wanted to say something.
Hey, Jan.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How about you?
Well, I wanted to mention the challenge of putting your goals in and the importance of it. And one of the things that I've noticed is that you're so overwhelmed and you just wonder how you can enter all that data. And I would encourage you to maybe get some help from somebody that you really work well with. It might be your secretary or someone that can kind of answer some of those questions that we're trying to collect the information and set the goals for, and they can help you figure out what to say, or they might even be able to help you with the data entry if that's not your comfort area. Because I think that you get so wrapped up in so many responsibilities, and this one is so important. And I just want to emphasize that what Lorna is saying about putting them in, but consider maybe getting some help with it.
Okay, thank you. We have a raised hand from Larry.
Oh, yes, thank you. Great presentation, Lorna and Joan. Just maybe some of the, I've been president for my club here a couple of times in the past, and I'm coming up again. I use my Rotary quite regularly, and also as far as putting in the goals, and every year that I've been president, I put in the goals. but it's not just your goals, it's the club goals. So you should engage with the other members. If you have a secretary, the secretary certainly should be able to do some of that, and your treasurer, that type of thing, and your club membership, because they are the ones that set the pathway or the course of your club. You are merely just the president. You're sort of the gatekeeper, that type of thing. So it's nothing. It is to be a president for a year long. It can sometimes be daunting, but I think if you stay organized, stay focused, and engage your members, so it's not always your decision. It's trying to be a human resources officer and using the people around you, their skills and abilities to get the best for your year, which is the best for their year. So I just wanted to share some of that. I've been listening to all the comments, and we have great comments here. And remember, Rotarians are people of action, and they're problem solvers. So that's what we do, and that's what we do best. Thank you.
Okay, we have a raised hand from Susie Moskovich again.
Thank you. Actually, Larry kind of touched on that, because this is my second time around. And for those of you that are new, I remember when I first started, it's like, oh my God, I've got to do this, and how will I keep up? And I remember I sat down with the club, for the president before, and he helped me put down my goals. And then after that, as a keep up, actually our secretary did it, because he'd been doing it forever. So like you said, Jan was saying, you do have help. You're not on your own in this. So, but you do have to, I mean, obviously you have to sit down and think about it. What are my goals for my club this year? But you've got history behind you, like Larry says. You've got history behind you, and you've got loads of help. But you really are responsible. The buck stops with you. So you need to put those goals down initially, and then basically, I know our secretary just kept it up, and I would look at it every once in a while and say, oh, I'm a little bit short here, but oh, I'm going to make it there. My foundation fundraising is a little short, but I can see from last year, most of it came in January. So that's the kind of thing that happens. It's not that scary, just for people that are just starting out. So basically, Larry, I'm just saying what you said, really. Okay, thank you. That's all.
There's a question from Walt. Is there a checklist of club gotta do's over the year, an internal financial audit checklist?
I believe there is a president's checklist. Let me check into that, because there used to be, and I will double check.
We have a raised hand from Denise.
Yes, thank you. My question relates to something that Mike, I think, brought up a few minutes ago. If you have a club that is contemplating existence or non-existence, and that conversation has been introduced and the idea is planted, I'd like to see this group address, going over this next year, address how do you motivate a group, and more specifically a board, into getting past that thinking when you have an older clientele in your club, your older membership, and maybe they're not as creative as one would like them to be. How do you address the issue of when they're saying, well, maybe we just shouldn't exist? And I don't think it's something we can answer today, but I think we need a conversation about that. I, as an incoming president, would like to learn a little more about that and what other clubs are doing to get past that obstacle. Because if it's kind of like saying you're married and you've already decided to get a divorce, how do you stay in the same house and stay married? And really, that can be a problem, I think, for some of these members.
That sounds like it would be a really good question to give the panel when we have for the panel in September. So I've written it down.
Scott?
Yeah, thank you. Another thing that I'd like to get ideas about is increasing service towards the community, various ideas that other clubs have had. This is something I want to do during my year as president, is like every quarter have a major project towards the community. And then it'd be really useful if we, if people would share their ideas of what they've done towards their communities.
I'm going to add that to the list.
Thank you so much.
We have somebody with a raised hand and just has the initial K.
Hi, actually, it's Sheila Walker from Salt Spring Island, and I don't know why it says K. It should say Sheila Walker. You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I have a question, and my club is great. We have a lot of fun. We have increased our membership this year. Fundraising will probably be a problem, but because we do what we call is a muffin madness, and it's during our fall fair, which is very successful here on the island. And you buy tickets, and it's the last part of the fair on Sunday at 3 o'clock, and a cow goes out into the field, and it has all the numbers. It has a grid, and you wait to see where the cow drops the muffin, and the people win their prizes accordingly. And we're looking at trying to do it online this year, but I understand we're in BC, and we will have to apply for a different status for the raffle, because when you do a live raffle, it's different than an online raffle.
Yeah.
Would any of you know what the difference would be?
Joan, you probably know more about the raffle licenses than I do, because I think.
Yeah, but I'm not exactly sure what she's pertaining to. But if you go onto the government website,
yes,
it is all there. You could check that out for sure.
Yeah. Okay, because I used to be with another club, and we used to do raffles, and I know you do have to apply for a different license than if you're doing it live. That I do know. Okay.
They changed.
They have made changes in the last year or two, so yeah, I'll look into that. On another note, it's a friend of mine who's a president in a different district, and I used to be with the Whistler Club, so I go on it occasionally. And she's had a really tough year. She's had people that have been very aggressive with her. She's had people that have yelled at her. The assistant governor has told her off. And we had a long talk the other day, and she's going to be leaving the club because of the negativity. Like, I didn't know how to help her. I've been a Rotarian for almost 15 years. I'm on the board now as membership here. I was on another board as secretary for 8 years. How do you deal? Like, what should she do? Because I want to help her.
Yeah, that's a really tough question, because not knowing the specifics, but I don't think in Rotary there's any place for that kind of behavior. Kind of reminds me to say what Dr. Bonnie Henry is saying to all of us right now: be calm, be kind. And I don't understand when people want to do, that sort of thing happens. I mean, if it's coming from the district governor.
No, the assistant.
From the assistant.
Should talk to the district governor.
Talk to the district governor. Yeah, that's the next. Yeah.
Okay. So she wanted to, and some of the members have dissuaded her. I've said to her that she should actually, meet in person with the district governor and have a confidential talk, because she's in tears now. She's finishing her year, and I think she's done an okay job. Presidents have a hard time, and some are going to do a better job than others. But hey, stepping up to do that job in itself,
volunteers,
have recognition, right?
Yeah.
And she's leaving this. She was sick for 3 months. She was very sick for 3 months. No one sent her a card. No one did anything for her. I just think I can't understand a club being like that. And I want to help her now, because, in the next month, she's finished, right? Yeah. And she won't get any recognition.
She's probably best contact her district governor. I mean, if this is happening to her, it may be happening to other people.
Yeah.
Well, and it's really important to bring it to someone's attention, because it's a culture you don't want to happen in a district.
No, and I suspect that that's probably happening, and you're right. Thanks for the advice.
Larry, go ahead.
Yeah, this is my second question. So, okay, well, it's not necessarily, of course, I've been just listening to the comments there, and I feel saddened that presidents would have this type of difficulty. unfortunately, a president does become some sort of a personnel manager or human resources officer, that type of thing, where they have to bring a whole bunch of different feelings of the different members together and try to, stick handle the best they can. It can be tough. Be careful going to the district governor, okay? But there is help out there. There really is, and that was my complaint to our district governor there when Craig Gillis was the district governor, was that things happen and you need to be able to turn to somebody to get help as the president. So, but I just wanted to say that there's also, Rotary International has a form out there called the health check form, okay, where you can do the health check on your club to find out if there's any suggestions. So that would be something that, the president's coming in could look at if it hasn't already been done and that sort of thing. You keep your finger on the pulse of the community, what's happening around you, and you'll get special little feelings or come forward once in a while of things you can do in your community. So it's being out there and just being able to read all the different situations in your community and your people as to what kind of projects you take on. So thank you. I think this has been a very informative session, and thank you for allowing me to participate.
And just one other thing I should mention is that the district is looking at developing a conflict resolution committee. So if these situations come up, there is somewhere for clubs to go.
So thanks again to everyone for attending. Certainly we hope this session was informative for you.